What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, here to bring to you my predictions video for this week's game versus Nebraska. Before I get started, if you can, please leave a like on the video, as it definitely helps out the channel. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. How do you feel about the game? How confident are you in Michigan's ability to get this victory, or do you think they're gonna win? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoy my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. So this is going to be an interesting game. In my previous videos for last week versus Central Michigan, I know I had said that it was going to be a key game, and it was. It was interesting and very important to see whether, Michigan was going to bounce back from their game against Oklahoma, or were they going to have some sort of lingering effect from that and not play to their abilities and play down to the competition and struggle. And then I would have had definitely a huge amount of concerns for this game. But it was good to see them rebound and show everybody what they're capable of doing, both on offense and defense. So that was a good game as a barometer to see how Michigan is going to do for this game versus Nebraska. Now, it's going to be, obviously, it's a road game. It's not a night game, so that definitely does help. But this is going to be pretty much the season, as weird as that sounds. But it'll be a good measuring stick just to see where the program is at. I get that it's CMU, and they play New Mexico and struggle against Oklahoma, but you can kind of see, generally speaking, where Michigan is at. I don't think you could really, see where Nebraska is at this point. They played Cincinnati week one, barely came out with the victory against Cincinnati, and then they played Akron, which is not very good, way worse competition than what Michigan has faced. And then they played an FCS team. So we don't really know how good Nebraska is. They're 3-0 record-wise, yes, but I don't think that they've really been, put to any type of test. So I don't know how good they are. I don't even think they know how good they are. And it doesn't help when you're playing FCS teams and group of four bottom of the barrel teams. It's good to beat up on them, but it's not a test. This is going to be their first test. So, all the stats, all that's out the window. This is a team with a pulse that they're playing this go around. So, it's going to be interesting to see how, our offense fares against their defense. From what I've seen, their rushing defense isn't the greatest. So that will be interesting to see. And it'll be interesting to see from the standpoint of Michigan how they approach this game. Are we going to be the Michigan versus Oklahoma, where we just have this super uber conservative offense and run the ball twice and then throw on third down and not do anything creatively, whether it be down the field passing or any type of thing like that? Or are we going to be the Michigan team that we saw against CMU, where it seemed like they, for the most part, opened up the playbook took shots downfield, allowed Bryce to use his legs, had design runs for Bryce to use his feet. That's what I'm interested to see. If we see that type of Michigan, then I got full confidence that we'll win this game. If we see the Michigan that, for all intents and purposes, played scared versus Oklahoma, then that's going to be a game that is going to be very tough to watch. But from hearing the comments that I heard from Biff Poggi, especially saying that this was what Sharon himself wanted to do, that they're not going to hold back, they're not going to handcuff the offense, they're going to open up the playbook, let Chip Lindsey do his thing. I'm fully confident that going forward that you're going to see a different Michigan team. Obviously, we're not going to be playing teams like CMU all year, but we're probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of teams defensively as stout as Oklahoma was as well. So it's going to be somewhere in between. And if it's somewhere in between, I like our odds, especially if the defense can step up. I definitely like our odds. So I think the keys to this game for Michigan is, first, can they protect Bryce? Can they allow him and give him the time to make plays in the pocket when he's passing? Are they going to open up the holes for him if they do decide to do design runs? Or is the offensive line going to open up, running lanes for the running backs? Is Justice Haynes going to, continue a streak of 100-yard games? These are key things, I think, for this game. Is the defense going to, contain Raiola? Are they going to, because, I looked at his stats and, they look great. But like I said, it's against, not the greatest of competition. So what is Raiola going to do when he's actually been, he's put to the test against a defense that'll actually push back? Is the defensive line going to be able to get pressure? That's going to be another thing. It's been kind of suspect so far this year. I know, the sack numbers are not where you like to see them. But then again, if we're able to get pressure, we're able to get pressure with just rushing 4, I definitely like our chances. That's been pretty much the bread and butter of how our defense has been able to do what it's been able to do for the last few years, is just a mere fact of being able to constantly get pressure just rushing 4 and not having the blitz and not, leaving guys on islands and stuff like that. We're able to play coverage, but get enough pressure to force the quarterback into mistakes, force the quarterback, into checking down or, sacking the quarterback or whatever the case may be. Just putting the quarterback in, making him uncomfortable. That's the key. Can we make Dylan Raiola uncomfortable where he's not able to just sit back there, read the field, go from progression to progression? We want him to just be able to just drop back, and then immediately he either has to go to his first read, a check down, scramble, whatever the case may be. And can we contain him if he does decide to scramble? I don't worry about his legs like what John Mateer did to us. John Mateer killed us, in that game with his legs, whether it be design runs or scrambling or, beating the pass rush and finding guys downfield. We can't allow that to happen in this game. So that's what it's going to come down to. Bryce, he got his feet wet, and I would say that that Oklahoma game was a good, even though he struggled. I'm glad. I'm not gonna say I'm glad he struggled, but I'm glad he got that out the way. And if he was gonna struggle, the best game for him to struggle was in a non-conference game. You know, put him in the worst environment possible for the season. Get that out of the way first, so that moving forward, anything else that he deals with on the road will not be anything close to what he had to deal with a night game um, in a hostile environment. So I think that this bodes well for Michigan, and I really think that we have a legitimate chance of coming away with this victory. Um, so my prediction for this not for this video, but for this game, is Michigan 24 and Nebraska 17. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. As always, leave a like on the video, as it definitely helps the channel. If you made it this far into the video, please leave me a comment in the comment section below, whether it be about the game or you can just leave a go blue, whatever the case may be. And if you enjoy my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. Anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, go blue.